Good evening. Welcome to this special Board of Health meeting. It is February 10th, 2014. It is 6:01 p.m. and I'd like to open the meeting. First item is, well, we don't have to review or add any items, so we're going to skip that. We'll go right to approval of bill schedule. And we just have Cheryl Lewinsky, and this is just services for the month of January. Yep. So if you want to just take a look at Cheryl, it's nice, plain and simple. And then I'll take a motion to accept, or not.
Should we get a more detailed outline, or are we only looking, does she only submit?
She submits to Darlene, and this is her billing, but all her paperwork is all her, every time she goes out to someplace. He's asking about a more detailed, you get the detailed one, correct? And we get the top sheet?
We actually get this,
Oh, yeah.
the communicable disease
Yeah,
report.
That's what she does.
So
And that's,
we do this communicable disease report, which obviously you can review. And then,
isn't that on here? We'll do that.
yeah, write down.
It is on number
Yeah,
5,
number
right?
5, so
Okay.
you're welcome to do that.
All right.
She also has the clinics, obviously, that we've finished up.
Mm-hmm.
The flu clinics have finished up. And pretty much all of her contacts, all of her phone calls that have to do with any of the communicable diseases are contained within
Okay,
Maven.
so pretty much this time of year, it's the communicable disease follow-up.
That's correct.
Plus our registration for
Yeah,
vaccine.
She doesn't have it on this because this is our disease report, but at the meeting last week, I was letting the board members know, we have this time of year comes all of our flu registration and all of the kind of the new way that they do it for the year. So this year, we have a registration that has to be done online, like solely online. So that was new this year. Cheryl came, it was last week, it was about a week and a half ago. She spent like about 2 hours with me at the computer because it was a process of putting in our registration and then getting a number to be able to submit. So every year it's a little bit different the way they do the billing and so forth. So this year she has gotten us registered and we have the correct kind of procedure to move forward. So if you'd like more information, I can certainly provide that.
And this is a contracted rate, or is this fee for service?
It's a contract.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
well, she's a contractor, but is it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
everything's, the rates are,
Yep, she
you have
gets
that.
that the same amount every
Same
month.
amount.
So, yeah, it's the
Okay,
same
so
amount,
motion
so-
to approve.
I second the motion. How do you vote?
Aye,
Aye. It is a vote. It is approved.
thank you.
And she's also very good about, I mean, anytime we have a question, something comes up, I pretty much call her anytime, day or night, and she picks up the phone.
And it's a lot better than our old billing when we had the, for a while, I don't know how many thousands it was for the Auburn VNA, and she's so much less than what we were doing there. And, you know, the VNA was great, but I think the cost,
4,000.
yeah, it was like $3,500 a month we were paying for that, and now we're paying the contractor
That's
rate.
where I came from. so.
Yeah, so this is a lot nicer for us for our budgeting. Okay, so oh good, it's 6:05. So at this point, of course, I didn't bring my hearing on how to open and close, but we have a hearing. I'd like to open the hearing for 247 Millbury Street. It's a local upgrade, approval, reduction of local requirement of field size. So at this point, there's nobody here for that, but it looks like Darlene has everything we need in front of us.
Absolutely.
Okay, so it's all you. Go ahead.
All right, so thank you very much, Ray. This is a septic plan before you. The plan comes from Purcell Associates Incorporated, and the property is for 247 Millbury Street. It is a system repair, and the
How old is the system?
design is for, I believe it's a 4-bedroom. So the 4-bedroom is, it's a 4-bedroom house. However, as you may recall, we do have a
Plus
local
one.
Town of Auburn regulation above and beyond Title V. And that regulation states under 5.3 that the system sewage flow design criteria has to be designed for the residential application, which would be the 4-bedroom, designed based on the number of bedrooms plus 1. So the reason that Andy had kind of that in place is because over the past several years, historically, when we had systems, subsurface sewage disposal systems such as this, and somebody wanted to add on to a house, often they would have to upgrade their system. So he put in this regulation for the town, and it was pretty much so that it would help people down the long run. So if they wanted to add a bedroom or add a great room or a bonus room, man town, if you will, above a garage, you'd pretty much have a system in place to handle that. So this particular design, the designer, Mr. Purcell, is requesting a variance from the local Town of Auburn regulation. It is in compliance and meets compliance with Title V, the state reg, but he's asking for a variance from the local because of the situation of the area. So this area on Millbury Street, as you may recall, is a tough area. The lots where they have a lot of ledge to bedrock, so that's a lot of outcropping of ledge and steep grades. As you can see, these lines that are pretty close together indicate very steep grade. So he is requesting to the board a variance to the local reg, and it's something that I've reviewed, and I actually don't have a problem with it because it is a system repair. It's not new construction. It is an existing house, and the system that's going in is going to be upgraded from what the system was previously. So with the new construction, and again, the board obviously knows the intent of the law and the history with Andy. But I think my interpretation from reading this reg and kind of my general conversations with Andy previously was more so it was geared towards your new construction. So that when houses were built, to try to design above 1. So that is, pretty much what I took from it, and certainly please, offer any comments that you may have. But this, the plan I did review, I did offer comments, and the designer has agreed to address those comments, and it comes before you tonight for that local reg request.
Is this a pending sale on the house?
I'm not aware
It's a
of that.
system failure?
The system that we have, I don't believe...
I'm just a little confused. Are they adding to the house? Is it the...
They just purchased the house, I
Okay.
believe. Okay, so it was a, let me just get my notes here. I believe the O'Shea's just recently purchased the house,
Yeah.
and there we go. And I believe money was put in escrow for the system upgrade. The O'Shea's do have a timeline for the system to be upgraded. I have already seen the proposed installer, L&H Storage, come in to pull a installer's permit, and their intention is to install the system as soon as the weather breaks, sometime in March, and they want to have it resolved and complete by April, which I believe is when the property owner's deadline, according to what their paperwork has from the bank. Again, I don't know that specifically, but that's the general terminology I've gotten from speaking with the designer and the installer.
So what failed on the old system? Was it the tank?
Ironically, that is something that we don't have. So if there was a Title V inspection done, we actually didn't get a copy of it. So I actually spoke to the installer to see if he was aware, and we did not receive it. So as you also may be aware, if there is an inspection done, it has to, the license inspector is required to submit a copy of the inspection report within 30 days. So we have not received one. However, I wouldn't be surprised if this was a property, and in order for the bank to give out any sort of funding or loans, they would want to make sure the system was upgraded.
I remember Andy talking about this when he did it back in September.
Right.
Yeah, so this actually, everything was done with Andy up until the plan came
Yeah.
in,
Yep.
just for the review. So you probably did,
I think he had mentioned
Have
it to me
Andy-
at some point,
right,
because we don't bring those in front of the board unless there's an issue, but he had mentioned something to be able to get stuck in the mud in September
Yeah.
out at a perk and everything, because that's what it was here,
Yeah.
so.
So I'm still trying to figure out, what are they repairing? What are they trying to do?
So they're going to be repairing the system components. So they actually are going to be replacing the entire system.
Okay,
And so system repair, Steve, is a terminology that I would use versus new construction. So if this was a brand new house,
Right.
which I think I've mentioned, we have a couple in town that are going up. So a brand new house that's getting a brand new system, we call that new construction.
all right,
Versus a house that you have as an existing house.
Right.
So somebody lives in a house and they have an existing subsurface sewage disposal system, such as this. When the property transfers, an inspection is done, or in lieu of an inspection, if they don't think the inspection is going to pass, often they'll hire a professional to prepare a design and submit it for review so that the system gets upgraded. And often that is done instead of taking money and throwing it to an inspection that they don't think is going to pass. And again, I don't know if that's the case on this particular one, but I think the most recent information that I can offer to you is, you know, this site was perked in soil evaluation by Andy. So he would have assessed the site while he was out there.
right. So I can see on the plan where they're planning on abandoning the original tank and putting in a new tank.
Yes.
I wasn't sure if they were actually gonna break into the field,
Yes, they're actually going to put a new field in.
put a whole complete new
Yep,
field in.
they'll put a new 1,500 gallon
Yeah.
septic tank, they'll put a D-box, and they'll put a new field in. So that will all be new.
According to the current standards of reclaiming a field and doing all that stuff.
Yes, according to Title V, the state Title V regulation, and the one variance that they're requesting is to the town of Auburn.
Just for the
Right.
size.
Just for, right, exactly.
All right.
So instead of designing a 5-bedroom, they want to keep it as a 4-bedroom. I also,
Which is the current design flow based on,
Based on the state regs, right now, we have 4+1 on new building. So, and we've done a lot of these on the old houses and people coming in and doing, I've had people come in here and do half-hour presentations and it's a yes or no.
and I also can confirm, the assessors does have this property as a 4-bedroom.
Okay.
design flow on the field is for a 4-bedroom,
Correct, sir.
which is what the house is.
Yes.
And all the flows look good. I mean, the criteria is here, the capacity's there. It seems to have reached everything according to the tests.
I
Per-
can,
a perk over here, the rates, 3.3 PI, design rate 10 MPI.
And I can also offer this to you. This might have been in your original package. This was a letter from the designer, you know, asking for the waiver formally.
No, it wouldn't.
I find that I must ask you for a waiver from the Auburn Board of Health requirement for septic design criteria for actual number of bedrooms plus one. The site has steep slopes, which I mentioned, an existing well and ledge outcropping about the property. I can design a repair for the existing facility that complies with Title V, again, which is the state. Further design increases may do manifest injustice due to Mr. O'Shea, due to excessive cost structures and local upgrade approvals. Thank you for your consideration regarding the matter, and if you have questions, certainly contact him, Mr. Purcell.
All right.
So again, because it's a system repair, an existing system, I don't have.
Motion to approve the requested variance.
Second motion, any discussion?
No.
Okay, at this point, before we vote, we have to close the evidentiary and discussion part of the hearing. Do you make a motion?
Motion to close evidentiary and discussion.
Second the motion, how do you vote?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so now we're in voting. So you made the motion, I second the motion. How do you vote?
Aye.
Aye. And the votes are to approve the,
Requested variance to the
yeah, the
size.
requested variance. It's Monday.
Next time we'll put it up here and we'll pump it.
Thank you
Even
very
if
much.
don't have to.
Yeah,
You're gonna do it.
I wasn't happy because they kept getting in on my bald head and I wasn't real happy with that. So I have to keep moving out of the picture.
Keep moving the shots and that's where you...
I know, we can't move in the picture.
Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Close the hearing now?
Yes, I need a motion to close the hearing.
I did.
Did you? All right.
I'm sorry, you didn't hear me. Yes, I did make
second
a
the
motion to close the hearing.
How do you vote?
Aye.
Aye. 2-0, close the hearing. Okay, at this time, it is 6:19, and I'd like to open the hearing on 17 Washington Street, lot number 5, unfit by human habitation. This is the one that was in the trailer park, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, the hearing that's before you, 17 Washington Street, lot number 5, the Board of Health originally had come to this property from the property management owner of the park. They had concerns because there was a water pipe break way back in early January. We had scheduled a site visit out there. The property manager was present, and the person that owned the trailer at the time had his daughter there, a daughter in her early 20s. The property did have quite a few concerns, and do have some pictures from the site assessment that I wanted to provide to you. The cleanliness and the odor inside the trailer was not very good. The fact that the water pipe broke did not allow any water to the property, so there wasn't any water service to the property for quite some time, for several weeks. So no sanitary facilities were able to be used. There was some heat to the property, but it wasn't working, I think, efficiently, because all the vents were blocked with excessive amounts of items and so forth, as you can see. The odor was overpowering, and I was concerned for the young lady that was staying at the property. So a determination of unfit for human habitation was made out in the field, and this comes before you to, for you to verify or overturn that decision. I can tell you the most updated information at this point is the original property owner of the trailer has signed the property over to the property park manager.
Okay.
And the park manager has agreed to clean out the unit and have the town go in to check the structural stability of the property.
Okay.
It was not able to be checked interior. The building inspector did check the exterior and the outside, but without being inside, can't really make any definitive determinations. So again, the hearing is for you to
Uphold or deny?
uphold or deny the determination made out in the field.
Okay. Any more evidence to be given?
The proper notices were given to all parties. I have been in contact with all the parties, and they've been very cooperative and very open with information. So I have worked with both parties on both sides and provided some services as well to both parties.
Okay.
At this point, I don't have any reason to believe that we're not going to be moving forward to get the place rehabbed and cleaned out.
Okay. At this point, I'd like a motion, or I'll entertain a motion to close the evidentiary part of the hearing.
Motion?
I second the motion. How do you vote?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, now we're in discussion phase. Just by looking at these pictures, I see 12 750 violations, minimum. And those are enough to do what you did on site. Any questions on anything like that, Steve? It's just, 750s are just in the housing code, the 410. It's all about 750s or anything that is not quite unfit, but it's safety and security of the building. So right there, I can see with no water, there's the egress, everything like that.
Right.
It's just
Right, but plumbing is completely shut off.
shut off, so there's
Yeah.
no potable
Power.
water.
Power?
There was power.
All right.
However, again, the refrigerator and so forth, as you
Sure.
can see, wasn't working properly because of, you couldn't even shut it. There was no smoke or carbon monoxide detectors in the dwelling. As you can see, the amount of items that are there. Really, I had a hard time walking through.
Bathroom facilities,
And bathroom
No
facilities
privies.
were not usable at all.
so, yeah. In discussion, I don't feel we need to overturn it. I would
No.
definitely approve the way it is and the way everything was done. Everything was labeled. We see the proper label on the wall. And it looks like you had posted his letter because he wasn't able to, there was no other mailing address, I take it, because it was posted.
Right, I posted it and I did mail it.
Okay.
And I actually posted the property twice.
Okay. All right. Any other discussion?
No.
Okay.
Motion to close the discussion.
I second the motion. How do you vote?
Aye.
Aye. 2-0 to close the discussion. At this point, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to maintain the current status of unfit for human habitation.
Okay.
And the,
I didn't know if there was anything else.
that will be sufficient.
I think so. I second the motion, and it is a roll call vote. Steve, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ray votes aye, 2-0 to uphold the unfit human habitation posting of the Board of Health and our representative. At this point, I'll take a motion to close the hearing.
Motion to close the hearing.
Second the motion. How do you vote?
Aye.
Aye. 2-0 to close the hearing. It is now 6:26. I'd like to open the hearing of 13 Clarendon Road, request for use of temporary housing, and evidence is all yours.
So, thank you. The 13 Clarendon Road, we had here a request for temporary housing. This actually came before me as an original request for the use of a camper in a temporary situation. That request actually has been retracted, and the camper is no longer being used.
So since we have no more evidence,
Motion to close the evidence and discussion.
sounds good. I second. And how do you vote?
Aye.
Aye. This is not really a voting one because it's been pulled back.
Right.
So we don't have to worry about that. So we opened, and I believe we can close now.
Motion to close, no action required.
Second the motion. How do you vote?
Aye.
Aye. 2-0, close, no action. Okay, the next on our list is communicable disease, which we did have that. Anything you want to check out on that?
Take a look at it.
Okay, so there's actually 3 pages.
All right. All you. Only if there's something I need to be aware of. Okay. So we have that. Anything jump out at you?
Only what things I would expect.
All right.
Thank you.
There you go. And at this point, next order of business is to schedule the next meeting. We scheduled it the last, 2 meetings ago, I believe we scheduled it for the 24th. Next week is a holiday, and so we'd be back on the 24th.
Which is the fourth Monday.
Fourth Monday, so we're back on our 2-4. So does that work for you that date?
Works for me.
It works for me. Anything else before we adjourn?
I think I just wanted to let you know in your packets, the follow-up from the last meeting.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
You have copies of the orders that you wanted to go out.
Mhm.
Those have been delivered as you required. And we do have updates on 2 out of 3. One of the Mobile Foods has closed business.
Okay. Which-
And Eat at Joe's.
Okay.
Okay,
Alright.
so he's actually no longer in business, so we've documented that file. HLA Warehouse, we were actually able to speak with a representative, and it was just a matter of they didn't receive the paperwork.
Okay.
It's kind of a corporate headquarters, so the paperwork goes to Pennsylvania, I think it is.
In New York, yep.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, this one's New York. So,
Farmingdale.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Farmingdale, New York. So we have a current mailing address. Paul has updated that. And so that one is, they're going to be sending in their paperwork. So we have that.
Excellent. So that's
Okay.
great.
And we got proof of service from the constable today
Excellent.
for those orders.
Sounds good. All right. At this time, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second the motion. Have a good evening.
Thank you.